Oh, hello. Yeah, we got another one of these rant videos. Ha ha. I have managed to get over the painful, ball-crushing disappointment that was Shiny Larvitar. Ludwig is saying, like, well, you forget about its crap nature. Use it as a defensive set. Put Stealth Rock's Taunt, Roar, and Toxic or T-Wave on it or something. I'm like, no. I'm not going to validate this. I might evolve it to get shinies to get the shinies in my fucking Pokedex, but that's pretty much it. It can sit there as a testament to how disappointed I was. Anyway, I have got a rant topic in mind, but I'd just like to say I've watched the first 12, 13, whatever we're on now, episodes of the new Pokemon anime, and I was not pleasantly surprised, but at least mildly curious as to how they've actually sort of managed to make Ash start an adventure and not seem like a complete gibbering tit right at the start, you know? It actually seems like he remembered he just had one. It's quite an odd thing, and the only thing I can surmise is that, you know, maybe when they were writing it, you know, Ash's mom went into his room with the brick and maybe slipped on some kind of stray banana peel, and it kind of hit him, but not quite as hard as she was hoping for. And since she's only really allowed one brick to the face a year, you know, she'd use that. So maybe that's why Ash's seems slightly more competent and vaguely non-entitled dick face. Like, he still seems usual, but, you know, he at least kind of acknowledged that people from his last journey were kind of there. So, maybe he can actually have a nice, maybe vaguely reasonable story arc with some maybe vaguely reasonable character growth, where instead of the usual shtick where he's like, I'm a retard and now I get to spend the next 2 years trying to grow up again before my mum hits me. So there you go. That was quite positive, and I was quite happy. I was okay with that. He's still fucking stupid though. It's just like, yeah, let's climb to the top of a tower to rescue a Garchomp. Okay, that's firing laser beams out of its face. It's like, yeah, it's pretty much going to the top of a tower to try and rescue one of the fucking eye laser dinosaurs from Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. But whatever, he's a twat, but at least he's a slightly more knowledgeable twat and slightly more competent twat than he usually is at this point. Now, the main rant topic I had, which made me feel a whole lot better from yesterday, was, I don't know when it came out, but the Final Fantasy XIII Lightning Returns demo came out. Now, Final Fantasy XIII I'm kind of iffy on. Most people should kind of, sort of, maybe, probably won't know my stance on Final Fantasy XIII because it changes every time the, like, you know, Fat Man farts. Because on the one hand, it's a fucking terrible, stupid, pointless game designed by a bunch of half-wits that have absolutely no idea how to make an RPG, or seemingly designed by a company that has never made an RPG before, despite having probably the best pedigree of RPGs, or JRPGs, that anyone has. And even, you know, fucking Tales Studio would be like, oh god, I wish we had Final Fantasy 6, 7... Well, I mean, I don't know about 7, I don't know. It's sort of like, 9 is usually a very popular one, 10, some people like, you know, that kind of shtick. They kind of got really good games, sort of like, yeah, look, this is the games in the series. But Final Fantasy XIII was probably sort of the first ones that were just shit. Yeah, I can't quite hate it. I mean, the characters, while they're fucking annoying, I mean, Vanille is in a complete league of her own compared to, say, Carol from fucking Vesperia. Like, Carol is annoying. He is the annoying child in the Tales of Vesperia game, but I fucking love that. You bring a full baton pass team, and you leave when a Gyarados uses Taunt? Fucking work around it, you lazy git! Shit like that isn't going to be handed to you on a plate. You've got to have some kind of counterpoint. Oh dear. I'd also like to say, I recorded 29 minutes of battles. I was really enjoying myself, and when I went to go look at the footage, I realised that because I used the camera yesterday to moan about Larvitar, I forgot to change it back, so it was 29 minutes of my camera staring at my computer, and I was like, bollocks! Ah, Larvitar, you strike again! Oh dear. But yeah, that's kind of my stance on Final Fantasy 13. Like, some of the characters are okay. Some of the art direction is quite nice. I'm a massive sucker for anime stories. I really can't help myself. If I was a wanker, I'd call it my guilty pleasure, but there you go. Well, I am. So yeah, it's my guilty pleasure. Yeah, it's like that sort of thing. Like really soppy, stupid stories like that. I can't help myself. Oh dear. That's probably why I like Persona so much. This is pretty much what it is, but there you go. But yeah. So, that's, you know, I'm kind of like a sucker for that sort of thing, so I kind of like the happy ending story. It's like, oh, this is really dumb, but hey, at least Saz got back with his kid, and Sarah, the princess is in another castle, is now back and can now marry the biggest cock in the face of the universe that is Snow. Yeah. But like I say, I was having this discussion with Nero. Like, the main thing that I like about Final Fantasy 13 is that, yeah, it tried some shit, alright? I think I read somewhere that apparently the whole reason that it was an entirely linear RPG was had by some fucking moron, because he was like, oh, Lightning is a character that's very focused and has her eyes on the ultimate, you know, on the end game and that kind of shtick. So we're going to make the game really linear to reflect that. I'm just like, if it was a shooter, maybe you could square that excuse, but no. You know, one of the great things about RPGs is that, you know, you can go talk to NPCs and they give you quests and there's a whole massive area to explore. In ff13, you can go forwards and backwards. I don't care about the open area bit towards the end of the game. That's still, like, all the areas look forwards or backwards. There's no room to maneuver, or there's no interesting people to talk to. There's no one to tell you shit. It's just delivered in a bunch of fucking text help menus. It's like, yay. Did you actually make any good games? I don't remember. Oh, you did. Yeah, you've got an entire back catalogue of how to make JRPGs right there. When you go look at it for 10 minutes, you might think, oh god, we cocked up. But yeah, so it's kind of, like, really dumb and stupid, but it's kind of sort of lovable in that sense. Like, it's a really stupidly thought out game, but they tried something different, especially with the combat system. I like the paradigm idea, but I don't like the fact that I can only control one character. You know, the combat system, you know, if you control all the characters, then it's at least reasonably fast-paced and there's shit to do. If you control one, then it's like, I'm going to click this move. I'm going to sit and wait for my other retarded NPCs to make a move. Oh, we made the move. I'm going to select this move. Wait for the bar to fill up. It's just like, yeah, no, that's not interesting. That's just, no. But they didn't, you know, whatever. So like I say, it's really dumb, it's really stupid, but I can't help but sort of like it. I don't know why. It's, like I say, the story is kind of dumb and stupid, but I kind of like dumb and stupid for anime, so that's me. And to be fair, my three favourite movies are Independence Day, Armageddon, and Bad Boys 2. I don't exactly have much taste in the story department, but that is kind of what I like. So yeah, that's kind of my opinion on Final Fantasy 13. However, Final Fantasy 13-2 is the single worst game ever made. Like, I know this year we had some pretty big stinkers, like, Ride to Hell Retribution is one that has been touted as absolutely fucking atrocious, offensively atrocious, and ugly in every single way, shape, and form. I know that. And there was also Aliens Colonial Marines, which single-handedly not only was a shitty game, but was actually just a £40 lie made by the developers, which was literally got to be one of the scummiest ways. Like, Ride to Hell Retribution looked shit from the start and was shit. Like, Aliens Colonial Marines lie. Like, it was Gearbox? It was Gearbox, wasn't it? Yeah. They literally lied about their own game to sell it. That has got to be one of the scummiest things anyone's really done. Like, Capcom do some shit with on-disc DLC, and Microsoft tried to spy on you with their Kinect, but that's pretty disgraceful. Like, at least they kind of said it flat out, but legit, you know? Like, just, look, we're gonna lie to our customers, our dedicated fan base and the dedicated Aliens fan base. Like, yeah, good job. That's how you get really positive press. By the way, that fucking Eye Slash I expected to be slower. I don't know why, I have max speed, but I was kind of hoping he'd go Sacred Sword, or Sacred Sword, and then I'd EQ and it'd kill him, but it didn't quite work out that way. And his crest would outspeed me anyway. I don't understand. How is crest so quick? It's weird. But whatever. I haven't really played in this meta for ages, so I don't know. I actually did really well in the first recording I had, and then with this one it's kind of went to pot. Like, I was really enjoying myself the first recording. This one, a bit iffy, but the first couple of battles are just hilarious. This guy shows up with, like, a complete hacks rape team of stupidity, and then leaves when I kill his Espion. It's like, good job, man. Good job. Anyway, Final Fantasy 13 2, it's just, yeah, it's the worst game ever. I don't care. In my opinion, it ranks just lower than anything. I've played some truly terrible games, but that just takes the biscuit. Because there are a couple, like, I could spend years ranting about the characters that have absolutely no depth whatsoever. I mean, Sarah's got to be one of the most blandest main characters ever. Whoever the fuck the guy that shows up out of some random time wormhole is just like, sup, I'm gonna go help you find lightning. Just complete worthless douche. He has 10 minutes of good story background. 10 minutes. And after that it's just like, well, I hate you again. I kind of sympathise slightly, but I still hate you. In fact, I hate you even more because you wasted, like, 15 hours of my time to get me to this one point where I actually feel some vague emotion towards you. Thanks, Brickface. I could also moan about how they took the most interesting character from the first game and literally stranded her outside of the entire plot. Like, legit. Whose fucking idea was it to take Lightning, the only character with some vague, like, charisma that you could actually like from the first game, and strand her in some random time dimension? It's pissing me off so hard. In some random time dimension, and she is literally the princesses in another castle. That's what they made. They may as well just change her name to that. That's all it is. It's like, oh, we're going to hop through this time period. Maybe we'll unlock another time period and eventually get there. I can also moan about the fact that there are fucking quick time events in an RPG. Why? Why would that ever need to be a thing? Like, I get there can be overworld mechanics, but not quick time events. No. What were they thinking? So, like, they're already shit and lazy. I suppose that kind of sums up the entire game, doesn't it, really? It has quick time events, and quick time events are effectively just a single big message saying, we couldn't be bothered. But yeah, all of that sucks. That, and they recycled the graphics, most of the art design. They obviously couldn't get the voice actor for Hope back because he probably was so fucking embarrassed at having to go, you killed my mum 7,000 times. They had to make him older just to get another voice actor in. It also wrote about how Saz, for no apparent fucking reason, somehow ends up in the future with his son. It's like, where did you come from? Do you have a time warp? What? Note to budding game developers, or anyone in general, don't use time travel as a mechanic unless you know how to use it. Even Back to the Future, one of the most highly respected fucking time travel movies, got a lot of shit wrong because it's pretty much impossible to quantify something that doesn't exist. Like Terminator as well. Terminator got a lot of shit massively wrong as well in their time travel, but there you go. Just don't use time travel. What it does is it means that you have to spend more time explaining a pointless plot that you didn't need to make in the first place. But whatever. Still, we're going to get away from that, because it's still not the worst thing. Alright. Final Fantasy 13 ended. It was ended with a neat little bow. Admittedly, the bow was kind of, it was a little bit scruffy, rough around the edges, and was kind of covered in a layer of bullshit. But at least it was tied up. At least it ended on a happier note. Yeah, these characters could go off and do other things, but let's face it, unless they have to try and save the world again, there's kind of jack all that they're going to be doing. That's really going to be as good as the first one. So that's fine. But no, the fucking second one literally just starts out with Lightning narrating oh, we finished we finished our story and Vanilla and Fang or whatever were holding up this planet because of reasons, and then a giant time vortex opened up and I fell into it. Now I'm here fighting this random person who wants me dead for reasons and stuff. Now let's cut to Sarah, because she's so much more interesting. Like, I fucking hate Sarah, alright? Spoiler alert, she fucking dies at the end of the second one. I howled with laughter. I laughed for days. It was hilarious. I was like, fuck, you got exactly what you deserved, you one-dimensional piece of wank. Jesus wept. But no, I think, like I said, that sucked, alright? They took something that ended, it was a miss, okay? Final Fantasy 13 was a miss. Not many people really liked it at all. You know, because it wasn't, you know, it was an experiment. It was sort of a completed beta test, if you will. Like, where most developers these days will release a half-finished game and then wait for people to moan about it so they'll fix it later. You know, Final Fantasy 13 was a completed beta test. They finished all the stuff they wanted to put in the game, but they didn't know how well it would be received, because what they really wanted to do was make a movie, and it just didn't quite pan out that way. They have to make games. It's Square Enix. So, that's kind of what that was. But, you know, not many people liked it. They should have taken that on board and just thought, okay, fine, alright, not many people like that. The combat system, a bit iffy. Not many people were a fan of it. Story, a bit bland. Okay, fine, but everyone liked the graphics. Okay. But obviously, some kind of higher-up guy must have been like, Jesus, the graphics cost that much? Whoa! You better pull out some sequels then. We need to pay back these graphics. Do you have any idea how much this cost? And so that's what happened. What the start of Final Fantasy 13-2 may as well have said is, well, we finished the first... It may have just been Lightning saying as well, like, well, the first story was finished and it was fine and we were all happy. But then some random cosmic entity said that they needed more money, so we're doing this. That's what she may as well have said. It makes just as much... But no, I think the biggest thing that annoys me at the present moment in time, before I change my opinion to something else that really annoys me about Final Fantasy 13-2, is when you get to the end, you beat whoever, the guy, the villain that isn't established at all, but he's a villain for some reason. You beat him, and then, I don't know where the fuck Lightning goes, she pisses off and does something. Oh, by the way, she also gives you a Kupo, or a Mog or something like that. I keep forgetting what the fuck their names are. And when you consider that Final Fantasy 13-2 was going for a serious tone, having Mog show up every 5 seconds going, Kupo, is just like, seriously? You wanted to make this serious? Wow. Like, it completely offsets any kind of seriousness the game could have, because there's this weird pink blob just shouting obscenities at people. Like, whose fucking great idea was that? Why would you do that? No, the single worst thing about Final Fantasy 13-2 is when you get to the end, and Sarah's died, and I laughed, and then the worst thing anyone can do ever flashes up. To be continued. Now, either that is like, they may as well have just said, we want more money, so here, there's gonna be another one. But it's either that, like, it's either, here, this is a cash cow now, so we're gonna make some money off of it, or we genuinely thought our game was good enough to warrant another sequel. The second one is far more offensive to me. Like, Right to Hell Retribution was pure dog shit. Everyone can agree on that. No one liked that game. Like, if there is someone who liked it, they're quite simply wrong. But I'm sure to some degree the developers knew it was a shitty, offensive pile of scum that they had to release. But saying to be continued implies that the company who made Final Fantasy 13-2, probably not Square Enix, they probably got some other wankers to do it, that implies that they thought their game was good. No, it's not. It is fucking terrible, it is useless, it is disgusting. It is a massive cash-in. They've somehow managed to forget how to actually give characters personality when their games used to have more personality than anything else. The graphics are completely recycled, all the enemy sprites are completely recycled. There is nothing new about the game, it's just crap. It is worthless, it is disgusting, it is absolute, complete shit. See, this is the kind of thing that makes me feel better, just having a nice old moan. So yeah, basically the reason I explain that is, like I say, Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns is coming out. I believe it's next month. It's got quite the mountain to climb. Now, I know the battle mechanics aren't going to change, because it's part of the series now. They can't change the battle mechanics at this point. If they do go back to, like, you control all 4 characters, or 3 or whatever, then grand. I'm right behind that. If shit didn't work, so we're going to change it. That's good. But I reckon the graphics will probably be exactly the same. And, like, it's just, I don't have much faith, because Final Fantasy 13-2 was just that fucking terrible. Like, it was woeful. It was a complete pile of shit, and whoever made it should just be ashamed. They could have moved on to a new project, but apparently that was fucking beneath them, so they didn't. But, yeah, Lightning Returns has got such a massive uphill climb to be good. Like, it's got to somehow... Yeah, it's got a carry-on from a terrible plot that makes no sense. But the only good thing that I can see about it so far is that Lightning's in it. That's all it's got. Lightning was the best character from Final Fantasy 13, and stranding her outside the plot has got to be one of the most stupid ideas possible. You took the one bit of charisma you had and put it over there! You don't want people to use that charisma, so you're gonna take it home. So, that's all it's got. Maybe, I've heard it will be open world again. If it is, they'll earn some more brownie points. If the story is somehow good, which is gonna have to be fucking amazing to make up for 13-2, then maybe it can get somewhere. But I don't have much faith. But still, I'll look forward to watching an LP of it and just screaming at my screen going, no, why? Anyway, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed my rant. I haven't done a proper rant in a while, so I felt it was nice and required, and it lets me burn off some steam from fucking Larvitar failure misery. Anyway. It's fun doing rants. Anyway, I hope you enjoy. I'll see you guys in a bit. Peace.